Hi guys, this is Miss Jones teaching art for Des Moines, and I just wanted to say hi first before we start because this is probably going to be our last art for this school year, and I know you guys have a lot of exciting things going on like banquets and ceremonies and end of year things happening, so it's just a busy month. But anyway, I'm excited to do a couple things with you. I was thinking since we just had Teacher Appreciation Week and Nurse Appreciation Week, um, and we're getting ready for Mother's Day and a bunch of different things coming up, that maybe we could do some art projects to show our appreciation or just celebrate spring. So we're going to do we're going to draw a pot with flowers. And if you want to give it to somebody, great. And if you want to hold on to it for yourself, that's great too. And then we're going to also do a 3D hand holding a bouquet of flowers too. If you have like construction paper and tape and scissors and glue, that would be cool for the 3D one. But if not, we can just like figure out a way to draw it without it being 3D as well. That'll make more sense when we get to it. I'm going to start with the pot, okay? So what you need for this one, essentially something to draw with, piece of paper, and then whatever you want to color it with. Watercolor, oil pastels, markers, whatever you got is great. Or you can even cut out some flowers and glue them on there if you have glue and scissors and paper. And I've been having a little bit of trouble with my camera focusing, so hopefully that doesn't cause any problems. But anyway, I have enjoyed having you this year, students, and thank you for letting me be your art teacher, and I hope I can keep doing that for you guys in years to come. And I hope you have a fabulous summer. But for right now, let's get some art done. I'm going to flip it around, so if you get woozy, don't look right now. Ready, set, go. Woo! All right, that worked out pretty well. Okay, so this is the goal. After which we're going to add flowers. You could paint them on. If you got Q-tips and paint, you could like dot them on, or if you have construction paper or you want to color some flowers on, that's fine too. So let me show you how we get this shape. It's kind of a circular C shape, and then it comes down almost like you're going to make a V, but it's flat on the bottom. Kind of curvy actually, but it comes in a little bit, okay? And then the middle is going to be for the flowers. So let me show you how I drew that. Oh, so take your pencil, about the middle of your paper, we're going to draw like almost like a C shape that has been sitting on its side, like that, okay? If it takes you a minute to kind of find a good C shape that seems even, that's fine. We're going to shade it anyway, okay? That looks about how I want it. And if you don't have a good eraser, we can just use whatever your mistakes are as shading, okay? All right, now underneath this C shape, we're going to go down a little bit, about an inch, okay? And then we're going to connect those with a curve. This is like the top lip or edge of the pot, okay? Most terracotta pots and planters that you can buy have some kind of a top lip on it or edge on the top of the pot, okay? There you go. You can go in a little bit farther. And then on the very top of your pot, there's also another kind of edge. So I'm gonna kind of follow along with my C and try to stay about the same distance away the whole time. It's probably about a quarter of an inch thick. Okay. Now underneath, we're going to draw that V shape that kind of comes down a little bit, but it doesn't go all the way to a point. It does start in just a little bit. like maybe another 1/4 of an inch in from the outside. If you have a ruler, you could measure, but otherwise I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And then once I get to the bottom, I want it to curve a little bit. So it's kind of parallel, or like going the same direction as the line above it. Okay, there we go. There's my pot. I'm gonna have it sitting on like a bench so it's not floating in the air. So I'm gonna add a little bit of shading underneath just to remind me that I need to do that later. Okay, and then because we want it to look extra special in 3D, underneath this lip and on the left side of this pot here, I'm going to draw an edge that I'm going to shade in a little bit with paint or whatever I decide to use. This side's going to be shaded in, okay? I'll kind of show you that with pencil right now. Because I am going to pretend like the light is coming from over here, which it actually is in my room right now. So this side would be light and this side would have a shadow. And then also underneath my pot would have a shadow, underneath the lip. And then over here would have a shadow. Okay, so that's the gist of the shape. It's okay if it's not perfect. The real big exciting thing, the pièce de résistance, are going to be the flowers. So you can think about what kind of flowers you want. And you can just do like a couple stems coming up, or you can do a bunch of stems coming up. I'm going to go ahead and do a bunch, like different sizes, and just pretend I'm growing a bunch of flowers for my mom, maybe like little daisies or something. Okay, and then if you want, then you can just kind of go over this with some basic like green watercolor. You can add leaves if you want, or you can just leave it. Kind of looks like grass right now, or my McDonald's French fries. But then I'm going to add some flowers on it in a little bit. Okay? I don't want to do really anything with my background because I want the flowers to be the center of attention. I might watercolor it. That's probably what I'm going to do. Oh yeah, inside the pot we have dirt, right? So watch this. I'm going to draw a line right here that shows the dirt on both sides. Okay? So this will be like shaded in, but then this will be dirt. This will be a little shaded in because it's on the inside of the pot, and then this will be dirt. Okay, that looks better. Alright, so I'm going to get my watercolors and my water and my paper towel. I think I'm going to start with the pot right now because I'm not sure what. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to start with the pot. I'm going to start with the background first. So I might just do like a real light blue or light green background for now because maybe light blue. Maybe really light blue. Because I don't really want green. Because then the stems will bleed into to the background and you won't be able to see where the stems are. I want them to stand out. So I'm just adding some water and some color from my background. Trying to make it not streaky. Kind of hard. You can do your background however you want. Different colors. You could do like wallpaper if you want. You could do patterns. You could color it with something else. I would recommend something really light though, like a colored pencil and not a marker, because you're going to put brighter and prettier colors for the flowers, and you don't want the marker to like be so dark that you can't paint over it or draw over it. Now I don't want those lines there, so again I'm just going to add some water and kind of smear that around. I wonder what you guys have planned for the summer. You guys get to go do any traveling, visiting relatives, or compete in any competitions, join any sports or clubs, or have any like basketball camps or cheerleading camps or volleyball camps or something like that? Or are you guys pretty much just going to rest or play video games or read? Summer's like one of the only times I get to read and scrapbook and do art just for fun for me. Actually, doing art with you guys has been my art fun therapy time this year. I don't get to do a lot of art in my job right now at Trinidad. So I'm really feeling lucky that I get to do it with you guys. I'm just going to real lightly put some blue in the background here because I'm not sure what I want to do with the flowers yet. I think I'm going to leave it like that for now because I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So next I have to do the pot. I want it to be like terracotta color, which is like a reddish brown. And if you want to do that too, you can kind of mix yours. So I'm going to start with doing these shadowy parts with a lot of pigment color and do them dark. If you don't have watercolor, just make sure you do the shaded part extra dark. And then we're going to go back and do the lighter part in a minute. Oops. Try and make this color like lighter so it's different. I don't want it to be too different. It almost looks too yellow. You don't have to do your pot the same color as I'm doing either. Yay! It's getting there, huh? I'm just going to outline the whole thing with the darker one and then add water. See what happens. Kind of an experiment. Don't want to color in this top rim with any paint because it's supposed to be super light where the white is hitting the top and the right side of your pot. Really good. smeared right there, so I'm just going to go in and with some water and kind of try get that color right without making a mess. Just adding some more of that reddish color because I feel like it looks too yellow. And there we go. Just dragging some of that color over with the water. It looks so much more orange on the screen than it does in real life. It's not that bright as it's appearing, but I appreciate that it's looking nice and bright on the screen, those colors. All right, so you have kind of a terracotta pot happening here, hopefully. I'm gonna get a darker brown, and if you don't have different shades of brown, really you could just use like black and brown mixed together. Let's see what color this is. Can't really tell. Oh, it's like black or gray. I'm gonna use that for the soil. Like a blackish gray. And then I think I decided I'm going to work on my stems here. I'm going to use the lightest green first. And then I'll probably go over it with some darker green to make some of the grasses stand out a little bit more, like layers. With some green. And you know what? You don't have to use green. If you want your stems to be psychedelic colors, go ahead, make them crazy. I'm sure whoever give it to will appreciate the effort and the thought and might love the colors because you know people better than I do that are in your life. So maybe they like pink. Give them pink stems with pink flowers. So my awesome daughter Brady, speaking of the color pink, when she was little, when she was in kindergarten, we asked her what she wanted to be when she grew up on her first day of kindergarten, and she said the color pink. Isn't that fun? She wanted to be the color pink when she grew up, and she still loves pink that much. I don't know what that entails, being the color pink as like a job or a persona, but she does wear pink a lot. It is her favorite color. Forever, I think. Okay. So I have some different colors of stems going here. That looks like grasses. That's okay. So later on, once this is dry, if you want, you can write like teacher or mom or a name of somebody you want to give it to or your own name. And then underneath, I've kind of left you some room where you could, or hopefully you've left yourself some room where you could write like thank you or happy Mother's Day or happy Teacher Appreciation Day or something like that if you want. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of shade here so you know that it's like sitting on a table or something. I don't want the table to be exactly the same color as the pot, so I'm going to add like some gray. Or if you have black, maybe something like that would be good. Oh good, that makes it kind of like a chocolatey brown, doesn't it? I don't want a lot of color because I want it, like your eye when you're looking at it, to focus at the flowers and not the table down here. But again, I don't want it to match the same exact color as my pot, so I'm changing the color up a little bit. Trying to make it a little bit more gray. I have to add black because it's looking the same color on your screen anyway. There we go. It's a little bit better. Looks like a little bit more grayish than it does red. Still a little red. There we go. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then later maybe I'll write my mom's name on it and give it to my mom. There we go. All right. So my soil needs to be a little bit darker, so I'm gonna add a little bit more black to it. All right, now we're at the point where you guys have some more options, okay? On your flowers, you could cut out like some little flowers, like draw them, like say, so excuse me for my messy paper, but you could like draw some flowers of any kind that you want and like stick them on there, just like all over the place, which would be cool if you have like some glue or something. I'm trying to find my regular scissors because all I can find are my crazy scissors. Let's see here. Crazy, 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 crazy. Where are my regular scissors? That's so silly. I have like 15 crazy scissors and no regular scissors. Well, I wasn't very prepared. Anyway, so let me show you what what you could do. There's a couple ways. Uh-oh, look at that. Something is not right here. Whoops. Okay, we'll try again with a different pair of crazy scissors. How about these? This is really a challenge to cut using these scissors. Quite funny. Because I have to line them up. Oh! You use what you have, right? So if I can't find scissors and you can't find scissors, then this might not be our best option. Anyway, I tried. Okay, so then you could color some little flowers and just like stick them all over your pot. And I would add like a little 3D element and just like put them all over, okay? And overlap them and put some down here, and, you know, whatever you want to do. Put some on the table. So that's one option. Another option is you could draw some flowers on your paper and just fill them in. Another option that I saw online, I'm going to share with you. This is really cool. This person did like lavender, so they took like a little paintbrush and then did just like purple dots on the top all the way up. And of course that would look better if you did it with like acrylic, but it might work. And if you want to do both, you could do both. So for me, I think I'm going to start with doing the purple, like lavender, which is a really good smelling plant. and just doot, doot, doot. Oh, those aren't big enough. Could do something like that going all the way up. And just do that on all of them. And then put your daisies, or you could do a combination. Oop, I think I used too much water. They're starting to bleed. If that happens to you ever, and your colors start like running, I mean, if you like it, you can leave it, but if it's running too much, you can always get like a piece of paper towel and just like, do that and soak it up. So I think, so some of it's faded now, but that's okay. I'm going to go back later, maybe with another color. So I'm using purple, but you don't have to use purple, and you don't have to do this kind of flower either. I really kind of wanted to do like little daisy looking or pansy looking flowers or Johnny jump ups. But I'm going to experiment and do this first. I can't believe how cold it was today. It was like raining and snowing and all kinds of stuff. And it's May. Mother Nature can't make up her mind. But I'm looking forward to flowers. I mean, there's been some that have already been blooming, like the irises and the daffodils. But I really love sunflowers. You usually have to wait till school starts to see those, which is the one bonus, right? When you're sad that, I mean, you're probably happy, hopefully, that school's starting, but if you're missing the lazy days of summer, the one thing you can look forward to make you happy is on the way to school, you often see sunflowers, right? They're just so happy. Oh, this is turning out kind of cute, except it looks a little lopsided to me. Like, all the flowers are going down that way. Like, I maybe need some more on this side that go up higher. So it's symmetrical. I'm going to put some down lower, so maybe it looks like there's some baby ones that are just growing. Oh, it's starting to bleed. That looks like it's going to bleed. My flowers are bleeding, my flowers are bleeding. Oh, now they're still bleeding. That means my paintbrush is too wet. And it still just wants to bleed right there. I don't know, something about sitting right there, I guess. Now I only have one color of purple, so I'm wondering what we'll do if I add white. I don't know if your guys' standard set came with white, but mine did, unusually enough. So I might add some white and just see if that gives me like a lighter color purple or if it just messes it up. I wish I could bring you an actual piece of lavender so you could see what it looked like. I had some outside that just started getting the purple flowers. And it smells so good. Probably should bring it in so it doesn't die in the freezing cold. You guys are probably loving the rain and snow out there, so your cat will have some green grass, huh? Alright, I'm gonna just get some white. I don't really see what the point of white colors are, but I'm gonna try it. Like on watercolors, because it's so watery, like what can it really do, right? Well, let's see. Well, that's interesting. It does kind of add a little bit of different color to it. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. I'm gonna have to use white more often. Using my white watercolor. How cool is that? From the fan. That's right. You heard Miss Jones. Learn something new right here on your art class lesson. How neat. Well, if you don't have white, that's okay. You can use other colors, and like I said, you can cut out flowers and glue them all over the place. They don't even have to be the same flowers. They could just be random. I know a lot of people who like to just buy the wildflower seeds in the spring and just spread them everywhere like confetti and then just see what they get. And it's a surprise. So it could be a whole mix, a whole potpourri. I have never used that white before, so I'm pretty excited about it. Oops. Need some more purple. White kind of took over. How neat is that? It looks like it has little highlights and shadows on it and different colors of purple. Anyway, you may not have white, so I'm sorry. I'm spending so much time on this. I'm learning. So again, I'm trying to make kind of a lavender type plant, but you can put what it's turning out to look more like a salvia. I love flowers. I used to work in the garden center at Home Depot a long time ago. So I had to learn a lot about flowers. Doesn't help me much now, but I did nail the trivia section at about flowers on trivia night once. I named all 10 flowers right. Whoop whoop. So you never know. It might help you in trivia. Anyway, that's looking pretty neat. Although I feel like I need one here and here maybe to balance it out a little bit. So we have different levels. So I'm going to start one there. Maybe put one right here. There we go. I was going to tape some flowers on top of it, but since I can't find my good scissors, that are normal scissors, I should say. So this one's so wet I can't add the white to it right now because it's just making a mess. Oh well. So now I'm looking at it and some of my flowers don't have stems, so I'm going to go back and just add stems to the ones that are floating in the middle of nowhere. There we go. Alright. Well, I kind of like that the way it is. So I might just leave it. But again, if you want to write someone's name here, or say like happy something, birthday, anniversary, Mother's Day, whatever, you could. And that's that. I think I like it the way it is, so I think I'm just going to leave it alone. Alright, so, this is fun paper. What kind of paper is this? Oh, acrylic paper. That's neat. Alright, so that is art project number 1. The lavender. Whoop. Here is art project number 2. Okay? On one piece of paper, maybe just scrap paper or something like that, I want you to trace your hand, kind of a little bit of your arm, maybe like 3 inches or so of your arm, okay? And we're going to cut that piece out and glue it on another piece of paper and glue the fingers like this. And then we're going to either draw or glue, tape, whatever, some flowers so it looks like you're handing a bouquet. Alright? So, step 1 is to trace your hand, right? There's my hand. Trace. And if I'm going too fast, you can pause this. Unfortunately, all I have are crazy scissors right now. That's fun. So I think I'm going to use these wavy ones and cut my arm out right here. How fun. It's extra silly and unique. Kind of looks like I'm wearing a fuzzy glove or something. See the edge? For you, I'd recommend using regular scissors if you have them. I don't know what happened to mine. I think they got stolen by my children, likely. Oop. Cut. Cut. This is going to be so silly with crazy scissors. Alien hand. I'm sure this will look so much better if you just cut with straight scissors, like regular scissors. Now, if you don't have any scissors at all, then you can just draw the hand on, but I want to try and do this one at least, just in case you do have scissors. Oh my gosh, look at my silly hand. Hopefully you get the idea. Okay, so we're going to paint a background, any color you want, so that the white stands out, okay? Oops, that's my thumb, so that would go on the top. Let me fix this one real quick. So once we paint the background, whatever color you want, so I'm going to have to go this way because of the way I cut it. And I want my thumb. I want my thumb this way. Okay, so you're going to then like glue or tape the fingers like this. So it looks like you're holding flowers. If you want, you could put that one over too. Okay, so I wish I could find my regular scissors. Oh wait, I just found my regular scissors. Haha! Good, that'll be better. So the first thing you guys can do, while if you have finished cutting your hand out, is paint the background or color the background. Okay? Or if you have construction paper, you can paste your hand on the construction paper. I'll try to make my hands less curvy real quick, because they just look silly. Oops. I am wondering if you guys are having fun travel plans this summer, going to hang out with your relatives or sleep, or if you're going to go on a trip or camping. I love camping. I hope we get to go camping. I was planning to be involved with the musical in Trinidad, so we'll see how that works out. And maybe do some art on my own this summer, just for fun. My fingers are looking a little rough because I had to cut them with that other scissors first. Alright, so I need a colored background. I was going to watercolor it, but I think I have some colored paper in my instead. I'm going to grab that first. No! Don't knock over the paint, Stones! Let's see. Okay, I found some paper. I happen to have scrapbook paper. Let's see. I don't want anything with lines because then if I put flowers on, it's going to look silly. I don't want something with flowers. Butterflies. Yeah, I'm going to use butterflies. Now, you can color your background however you want, okay? So, I'm not trying to stop you from doing that, but because I spent so much time cutting my hand out, I'm willing to use a shortcut and use colored paper. If you have construction paper at home, that'll work, or you can paint your paper however you want. So I think I want, whoop, I'm gonna put my hand like this, okay? And think about if you were holding flowers. You want your thumb on the top, whichever hand you do. Or maybe around like that. But first, these fingers, right? The other 4 fingers. So, I have some tape. So I'm going to tape my fingers down. But if you have glue, you should do that. Or tape, whatever way works for you. So I'm going to take the fingers, do that, and then might wait on the thumb. I think my hands need to go in a little bit farther actually, the fingers. Because when you hold it, your fingers go like halfway down your hand. Right? Right. Okay. So I think I'm going to, I don't know where I want, like if I did it like this. I guess like this is going to work. You can put it coming from whichever direction you want. Maybe I'll do it like that. That'll be interesting. Might be too busy with all of these butterflies. I wonder if I should just use a regular colored paper. Let me see if I can find some plain paper. These butterflies are too busy. I've got some orange that's just solid. That'll probably work better. There we go. Yeah, because we don't want the background to be distracting us, right? Okay, a little too much light. Oops, I went the wrong way. Okay, so I'm going to stick my hand on there. You got tape, you got glue, whatever you've got to stick it on there. I have some tape, so I'm going to tape it on. Okay. And again, I'm not putting the thumb down yet because I think I might want to put the thumb on top, but I'm not sure. Like that, you know? But I don't know yet. So now you can either draw some stems coming from the hands and like draw it going between the fingers, or you can like actually cut some green stems out. And if you don't have any like green paper, you could, like this is from last week, and you could just cut some green colored paper that you painted on, you know? So I'm gonna do that actually, so I don't waste my practice sheet. Like that, so I can put that like in here. I almost think now that I'm looking at this that I probably should have put my stems first if we're going to tape them. You know? That's okay. I'm learning, just like you. So I'll put a stem like that. I might just have to cut a couple stems out of my paper from last week. And if I were you, I would do an odd number, so 3 or 5, which you don't have to listen to me about that, but 3 or 5 is just more interesting than even numbers in art. All right, I'm going to do 5 flowers. So now I'm thinking I want to move my fingers again. I think I just used like a sticky tape. There we go. And I'm going to arrange my flower stems. My finger looks all mangled. Okay, so one's going that way. And you don't want them to be all clumped together, because if you do, then your flowers are all going to be like overlapping and you won't be able to see the individual flowers. Oops. If you have just green paper or you just want to use like green crayons or whatever you've got, that's fine too. I'm just kind of being a little extra here and using different materials. They're fun, and I'm reusing old colorings from earlier. Okay. That one's going to have to go like up here or something. So now I'm going to put the fingers back down. Tape, glue, whatever you have. And if you want, you can decorate the fingernails. And I am going to put this thumb down, because that's what our thumbs would do, right? Okay, so now you have a hand. And if you want, you give it some colorful fingernails, right? Oops, a little messy on my fingernails. That's better. All right, so now we have our fingernails. Okay, now we have flowers. So what are we going to do for the flowers? That, again, is up to you. If you have multiple colors, or if you just have white paper, that's fine. I'm going to grab some spare white paper there and laying around. Okay, this is scrap paper, so I'm going to cut some flowers. And I kind of want them to be like three-dimensional, so I'm going to show you a couple ways to do that with regular scissors. I'm going to do like a 4-leaf flower twice and then put them on top of each other, okay? That's the goal. Something like that, okay? Maybe I can get it to look like a daffodil or something if I layer them. Or you could draw them. If you don't have markers, if you don't have some scissors and glue and extra paper, you could just draw some flowers on there. You don't have to make them three-dimensional, okay? But I do that, then I can draw another one and put it the other direction, you know what I mean? And then I will put a center in it, whether that's painted on or oil pastel, or if you want to go get like a button that's not being used, like if you've got like a craft drawer with a collection of buttons, you could put a colorful button on there. So I'm going to I'm going to cut another one. Okay, they don't have to be perfect. And then I can like this one under something like that. Okay. And then for the middle, you could either like draw a circle like that, so it looks like the middle of a flower, you know, or if you want, you could get some colorful paper, like yellow maybe, for daffodils. I have yellow paper. So I'm going to show you a cool trick. I want you, if you have scissors and we'll try this, I'm going to show you it first and then you can decide if you want. I'm going to cut a rectangle and then I'm just going to cut like this all the way down. But I'm not cutting all the way to the other side. I'm cutting like 2/3 of the way down. Okay. And then if you have tape or glue, you glue it like that. And you can put that as the center, and then it'll be like three-dimensional, and you can pull those out if you want. So let me do that, and I'll show you. If you don't have colored paper, you could like paint or color some paper with markers, and then do it on your just regular white paper that you colored. So now we're going to bend those out, and then you could glue it on. I don't have the right kind of glue for that right now, but whoop. So you can make your flower like 3D, kind of look like a daffodil, right? I don't know if I have good enough tape for this. I'm going to try this kind of tape though. This is like scrapbook runner tape, but because it's what I have. And you know what? This will be hard to stick on its own, so we might have to cut some flaps in it. Oh no, maybe it'll work. If you have Elmer's glue, that probably works the best. Okay, so you can just do all kinds of different flowers, but look at this from the side. It's like really tall and three-dimensional, and so is your hand. So I'm going to do maybe 2 more daffodils like that, and then do 2 other flowers of a different something a different color. I'm not sure of that. probably look better if you were using the same like pattern I traced it a couple times. But you know, I'm just winging it. I'm really actually loving the way that those stems look. I cut them out of old paper from the week that we did turtles that I just had left over that I was using as like a practice page. And I'm recycling. There we go. That. That. And we need another triangle. I'm going to make 2 of them. I'm going to do one more back though. So I'm not cutting all the way, I'm just cutting about 2/3 and then stopping. Tape it to the other side. That. You might have to hold it for a minute if you're using wet Elmer's glue. Maybe I don't even need more than 3 flowers. I know there's 5 stems, but this is pretty full with just, I think it's going to be pretty full with just 3 flowers, don't you? Dos más, or one more, uno más. I think that looks like the top level. That one's pretty small. I'm trying to use what's left of this paper on the biggest part I could find, so I'm not cutting off pieces that are missing a chunk. That's okay. This one's just going to be a small one, it looks like. Alright. See? I'm using old paper. I was practicing stamping on this page to see which stamps would work the best and which of my stamp pads were done with their ink. Okay, one more. I'm sure that your hand, whatever hand you do, is going to look so much better than mine. Since I had funky scissors to start with. Oops. I know this is an extra long video, so in the instructions I'll say you could skip forward if you don't want to watch the whole video. Alright, there we go. So, we have a 3D flower thing. I actually think that looks better like that. What do you guys think? So then you could say, I appreciate you, or thank you, or happy Valentine's Day, or love you, or happy spring, however you want to hold them. I really like that. Let's see if I can put this up again so you can see it better from the top. Oh, yep. Alright, well I like that. So today we did a pot of lavender, or whatever flowers you want, and then we did a hand giving a bouquet of 3 flowers, which I love. And I'm going to do that again sometime soon. There we go. Anyway, thank you for being my art students, and again, I hope you have a lovely end of the year and summer, and I hope I see you next year, but if not, I'm going to keep trying to put videos up once in a while, and you guys can go back and redo some of the old ones if you're feeling artsy. And that's all for now. Happy Bye.